Hello, internet people. Almost didn't just fall doing that. Left my carpet up for that too. Welcome back to the second episode of the Journey Paved in Shadows read-along. Right there. If you didn't watch the last episode, I would recommend it because that's where we're picking up, is in chapter 2. What we went over last time was the events of chapter 1. It's almost like that's like chronological order, Julia. In chapter 1, Rin is lost in the mountains. She lost her map. It's blizzarding. And we learn that she is searching for her mother. Also, guys, just a reminder, this is a book. We are going chapter by chapter through a book. So if you haven't read it yet, things are going to be spoiled. And frankly, I don't know why you haven't read it yet. So do that. Read it a chapter ahead of time or just read the whole book. So, chapter 2 starts with Rin still continuing through this blizzard. And while she's trudging along, she's thinking about what actually kickstarted this entire journey, this entire search for her mother. That started a few months before the events of the book with an argument with her dad, and it wasn't the first argument of its kind. 12 years before the events of the book, Rin's mother went missing. One day she just woke up when she was 8 years old, and her mom was gone. Her father never told her why, and it just completely wrecked her family. To Rin's knowledge, there was nothing that was wrong. Everything was fine and happy, and then her mom just left. Over the course of 12 years, just wanting to understand what caused her mom to leave. And this sparks a lot of arguments with her dad, because her dad doesn't tell her. Rin is just overwhelmed by 12 years of grief, anger, confusion. She just says, I'm 20 years old. I am old enough to at least know why my mother abandoned me. That is completely unfair to me. And Rin's dad, he understands this pain and this anger and this confusion that she's feeling in. And then suddenly he tells Rin, like, look, I get what you're feeling, but you have to understand, I don't know why she left either. She didn't tell me why she left. She just one day said it was too dangerous to be around her and she left. But there's one thing that she left us that I never told you about. And Rin's all of a sudden, I mean, it's been 12 years. What is that? I've been asking you about anything that you could tell me about it for years. Rin's dad explains, when your mother left, the night that she left a letter. In this envelope, there's a map leading to the other side of the mountain range that Rin and father live at the base of. Rin's dad explains, I don't know why she left this. Ever in emergency, this is where we could find her. He gives her this map and says, look, this village on the other side of the mountains, it's only a few days' journey around the base. Go to this village, see if she's there, potentially get answers, and then come back in a few days. You'll be back in a week. He explains that this side of their kingdom is much safer than it used to be. That would do her well. Rin's dad also says, I can't go with you for the same reason I haven't gone and sought out my wife. I had to provide for you. I had to put food on the table, shelter over your head. We have a farm. You go and I'll stay and I'll tend the farm. And immediately Rin is just so excited. I'm finally gonna see my mom again after 12 years. I'm gonna be able to hug her. I'm gonna get answers and talk to her and just understand why she left. I'm gonna have closure. She starts packing, she starts planning, she's afraid and she's excited. And so that's what leads to this book. That conversation right there. Funnily enough, chapter 2 is the last chapter that I added to A Journey Paved in Shadows. When I finished the first draft of this book, I gave it to some beta readers, and one of them came back to me and said, you know, we never really understand what led Rin to go find her mother. We never got that backstory and what actually started this story. That's actually a really good point. But I did write it. I did kind of give an intro, but it wasn't in the book. I wrote a short story many years ago. This exact chapter, basically. I wrote it after I started the book. I've actually written a few of these short stories where it's a couple of pages, but they just give some more depth to the backstory of Journey Paved in Shadows. It was a perfect opportunity to take it and be like, hey, actually, let's add this into the story. So that's how this chapter came to be. And there's some stuff in the chapter that's actually personal experiences to me. The chapter starts with Rin sitting on the floor reading a book in her room. She's clearly not happy when she hears somebody approaching her room. And I get that because whenever I'm reading, I don't want anybody to interrupt me. I'm focusing, I'm in the zone, I'm in the story. And so I've had that experience where I'm just like, oh great, somebody's coming. And you just hear them walk up to the door. It's like a countdown to when you have to take a break. It's fun to write like that. It's one of my favorite things about writing, being able to put my own experiences into the story. It doesn't even have to be like a big dramatic one, like trauma in life or sadness or overjoyed feelings. It could just be the little instances in everyday life like that. It's just an enjoyable experience to be able to say, I know exactly what that character is feeling. It adds more depth to the story, more realness. But that is chapter 2. That wraps up this episode of the Journey Paved in Shadows read through. And thank you guys for watching, and stick around for the next episode.